The contracting officer. Contracting layer includes the contracting officer, which could be called CO for short, or in DoD, they could call them the KO, because in the military, the CO is the commanding officer. So get used to that nomenclature. They may have a contracting specialist or purchasing agent works with them to help dot the I's, cross the T's, and identify proposals that aren't compliant. The contracting officer has a power the President of the United States does not have, and that is the power to award a contract to legally bind your company to these United States in an agreement to provide products and services and to pay you for those products and services. So this is Josephine Cobb. Josephine Cobb worked at Travis Air Force Base for over 50 years. Can you imagine all the things she's seen? You do not want to mess around with Josephine. But Retina Tran is also a general engineer journeyman with Defense Contract Management Agency and Boeing's Mesa Contract Management Office. And that's also the face of contracting. They have pets, they have personalities, they have things that they're doing, they have special assignments, they're people. Always keep that in mind. Their role is to serve the end user. Their customer is the end user, to help the end user get legally compliant, best value, best price contractor to do the job. They conduct market research, which they have to do when they're deciding whether or not to set something aside or reserve it for small business. They have to make sure that they have achieved maximum practicable competition. They've done their best to shop around, give everybody a shot. They award contracts and administer them. They're on the hook to make sure they've spent the money by fiscal year end. Fiscal year end in the US federal system is September 30th. Keep that in mind. In Canada, it's March 31st. Tangent. In 46 of 50 states, if you're doing business as a state government, fiscal year end is June 30th. So if you're doing business with commercial sector, the Canadian government, federal government, and state and local, Christmas can come 4 times a year for you. You've got a fourth quarter spending skew that happens. So keep that in mind when you're looking for places to keep the revenue rolling all year long. The contracting officer, they're on the nut to comply with rules and laws. What happens if you break a law? Prison. Think about that. They have auditors breathing over their shoulders. They have tiger teams that oversee the auditors. And if they don't execute the budget's going to go away. Look at that language. Tiger teams, auditors, be executed, prison. Little wonder they don't really rush to return your call if they've never heard of you. You do not want to be making these guys your first call. They're important. They respond to being able to meet end user requirements. But the end users need to fall in love with you and then be interested in walking you across the hall to contract and say, here's these guys that can help us solve our problem. Now, what are some of the ways that we could do this in a way that is easy, that is legal, that is appropriate, and we'll get it done on time, on budget. Okay. In some places, the end user shop and the contracting shop get along like best friends, skipping through the daisies. In other places, the end users think that contracting shop is the purchasing prevention program, and the contracting shop think the end users shouldn't be trusted with 5 cents to buy bubble gum, and they're constantly fighting. So your mileage may vary. You've got to get to know the players in the individual places. They're constantly thinking the same as your end users about following rules, making sure that they can do it in a way that is also protecting their careers and delivering the mission. And they've got long-term goals to deliver the mission and take care of their families and long-term security. So that's the contracting shop.